Sent shockwaves throughout the entertainment community. And joining us to talk more about the developments is Josh McBride. He's an entertainment expert and has more on the big news tonight. So this is a major victory for Britney. What does it really mean for her and what's next? Because she still has a conservatorship over her person.
Right, Marnie, really good point. I think that we have to take this in strides. As soon as Matthew Rosengart stepped up to the plate and Britney got control of her own lawyer, that was a big step for us who are part of the Free Britney movement. I might not be wearing my shirt today, Marnie, but I am fully in support of it. We have seen small strides, and especially when Matthew Rosengart did step in, we're starting to see things a little bit more. Now, a lot of people were saying today was a huge victory, but it is not over yet. We know that the next big date is November 12th, that there's a hearing to consider the request by Britney to end her conservatorship altogether. And then a second hearing is actually planned for December 13th when Judge Brenda Penny will address the financial matters and additional petitions in that case. So we do have a little bit more time with this. Right now, temporary conservator and certified public accountant John Zabel has been appointed as the temporary conservator of her estate. We do know that Jody Montgomery is still there holding strong, dealing with her health and wellness. As we remember, the conservatorship has two different parts, her estate and then health and wellness. Jody Montgomery is taking over that health and wellness and staying strong there.
Josh, I know Britney is, relatively active on social media. Have we heard from all? Do we expect her to speak publicly after this next step?
Marnie, I love this because I think Britney is very almost like a little secretive or giving a little bit more innuendo when she does post on Instagram. We saw a post nearly 2 hours ago of her on Instagram quoting On Cloud 9 right now, and she posted a video which appears for her being in a plane or doing maybe flying lessons or something like that. So I always have noticed with Britney and her posts that they seem kind of like an innuendo or they're symbolizing something, and this definitely was a huge win for her today.
Yeah, maybe a mixed message in there, sort of cryptic. Josh, the conservatorship, as you know, was put in place very early on because the people closest to Britney, her family, felt as though her mental well-being needed better taken care of. Is that still a concern now?
Yeah, I think from what we're told, yes. Look, I'm not in Britney's house, so I don't know. We do know that she's engaged. She seems very happy to be engaged, of course. But what we have seen is that there has been a lot of talk between kind of her phasing out of this conservatorship. I think it's going to be really difficult for somebody to have their life controlled, for anybody really, to have their life controlled 100%, to then sort of be kind of go cold turkey, right? Have nothing. So there's been this talk that I've been hearing from a few sources as well, that there's this almost transitional period of sort of, if this were to happen and the conservatorship were to end on both accounts of it, sort of this kind of like laying low and sort of a slow transition out of it so she can kind of get accustomed and back to her normal life.
Josh, before I let you go, you mentioned you have the shirt. I don't currently own a Free Britney shirt. To help those of us who haven't been following her life and her music as others have understand what it is about Britney that people love so much. They'll stand behind her, beside her through this long and lengthy battle in court.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, for me, I'm not going to go personal, Marnie, but I did have her as a centerpiece at my bar mitzvah. I will say that. But I think for so many, we grew up with her. We grew up with Britney Spears and people of pop culture before social media. So when we watched Britney, we saw her on TRL waving to fans down in Times Square. We saw her at the VMAs. We saw her performing at the Grammys. We saw her, and this was all before Twitter, where we could see it anytime we really wanted. So I think a lot of us have this personal relationship that they feel like, or personal connection to her, that we've watched her grow, and we've kind of watched her go through what being an adult is like and being in the spotlight is like, pre-social media, when we could only see what press allowed us to see. So I think there's this deeply personal connection there. I also think it's really important that we touch on Kevin Federline. No one's really talked too much about him and this sort of who's handling the kids right now. I mean, we know that back in 2019 in September, there was a lot of talk that one of her sons, Sean, got into an altercation with Jamie, her father. It seems like this guy gets into a lot of altercations. There was initially a 50-50 split between Britney and K-Fed. After this moment where they got into an altercation, K-Fed's lawyer said, I would like to do 70-30 now in the interest of the children. What we do know now as well, Marnie, is that his lawyer also came out and said after the conservatorship ends, that he is open to discussing going back to 50-50.
We shall see. Josh McBride, Britney ice sculpture at the party. Thanks for your time.
Always.
Good to talk to you.
Always.
All right.
Bye, Marnie. Thank you.